7 Action News This Morning starts right now.
Now at 10, a deadly attack. A radio host killed and a mother and her children brutally beaten, where the suspect was found and his connection to the family. Plus, doing the right thing, Roseville Schools is praising its students for reporting a threat, what the superintendent is saying as detectives continue to investigate. And we're getting funky in Ferndale today. We've got Faraz Javed live at the Funky Ferndale Art Fair, which is back for the first time in 2 years. The local authors he's introducing us to this hour. Welcome back to you on this Saturday morning. It is September 24th. On your left is a live look out over downtown Detroit. On the right there, you will see Mount Clemens. Sort of gray skies in both of those places, and that's going to be the story for a little bit today. Hello, and thanks so much for joining us at 10 o'clock. I'm Jen Shantz. Let's talk about those gray skies now and the chances for some showers, especially for all you fans tailgating for the two big college games happening.
I know.
Yeah.
So in Ann Arbor, the rain's been coming through for tailgaters. A noon kickoff. In East Lansing, 3:30 kickoff. You're a little better off, actually, for the game.
For the later one.
Yeah, I think the later it gets, a little better chance to see some dry hours as we go into the afternoon. But we've been dealing with the showers, and
Our top story this morning, detectives are still working to figure out what led up to a disturbing attack in Chesterfield Township. Police tell us a woman and her 2 kids were brutalized and that their father was killed, leaving a trail of devastation and also silencing a local radio voice. 7 Action News reporter Brett Cast has more on the conditions of those victims this morning and also where police found the suspect.
This is where all...
Brett, thank you. Still obviously a lot of unanswered questions here. Police are continuing to investigate that. We want to share this hotline with you. If you or anyone you know is a victim of domestic violence, you can call the national hotline for help. The number 1-800-799-7233. This is a free service and it operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We also have an extensive list of local shelters on our website, wxyz.com. This morning, the Roseville School District is thanking its high school students for reporting a threat, and now detectives are working to learn who was behind it. That threat was found on one of the bathrooms at Roseville High and was intended for a future date. Security at the school was stepped up yesterday as a precaution. The superintendent of the district issued this statement to us, saying in part, quote, "It's important that our students and community continue to follow the hear something, say something concept. It takes everyone to help keep our community safe." Well, people living in 4 Russian-occupied areas in Ukraine are now voting on referendums for joining Russia. The 5-day vote was called by a Russian-backed separatists in the self-declared republics. The referendums, which are illegal under international law and dismissed as a sham by Western governments, including Kyiv, would pave the way for Russian annexation of those areas. The White House says the U.S. is prepared to impose additional economic costs on Russia if Moscow moves forward with annexation of those regions. Meantime, 2 Alabama men taken by Russian forces are finally free from captivity. Alex Drake and Andy Hewen were part of a negotiated prisoner exchange. Those 2 men volunteered to fight with the Ukrainian army after Russia's invasion began. Both men were given medical attention after being released. They arrived home to the U.S. yesterday afternoon after being held captive there for more than 2 months. And of course, a Novi native, Paul Whelan, remains behind bars in Russia this morning. Republican candidate for Governor Tudor Dixon hit the campaign trail in West Michigan with Donald Trump Jr. He headlined a rally in Muskegon Friday with support from former Trump counselor Kellyanne Conway. Earlier in the day, Dixon was at a super PAC event in Troy where she referenced the plot to kidnap Governor Whitmer. Speaking on the need to cut business regulations, she said, quote, "For someone so worried about being kidnapped, Gretchen Whitmer sure is good at taking business hostage." Governor Whitmer's team did send us a response. It says in part, threats of violence, whether to Governor Whitmer or to candidates and elected officials on the other side of the aisle, are no laughing matter. And the fact that Tudor Dixon thinks it's a joke shows that she is absolutely unfit to serve in public office. We will be following up with the governor on this today. She'll be in Detroit meeting with small business owners. Frito-Lay and Feed the Children are teaming up today to help Detroit students and their families put food on the table. The organizations are hosting a food distribution. It's a drive-through event, and it's happening from 11 until 1 this afternoon at Martin Luther King Jr. Senior High School. 800 families will receive a 25-pound box of food, also household essentials, books, and other products. Time now is 10:08. The Funky Ferndale Art Fair is back, and it's happening right now, just kicked off about 8 minutes ago. It's happening on 9 Mile, right there in downtown Ferndale, and it features unique works of more than 100 artists, along with a few other surprises. That's where we find 7 Action News reporter Faraz Javed for us this morning with where this free event just kicked off for today. Faraz, you've shown us some interesting things already this morning. What else can people check out there besides this beautiful artwork?
Other cool things right here at Funky Ferndale Art Fair.
And right now, Faraz, I'm thinking about all those kids who just went back to school, all the parents, the idea that they can not only go to that art fair and check out all those juried artists, they can also pick up some books for their family. Faraz, we'll check back in with you in about 30 minutes. All right, Hallie, how's the forecast looking for those folks venturing out to Ferndale today?
Oh, we're dodging a few raindrops this morning. The afternoon actually looks a little better off. We're going to be mostly cloudy and cool, highs in the mid-60s. What's ahead for the rest of the weekend in your full forecast?
All right, thanks, Hallie. Also still ahead, making a difference. The Pistons are stepping in to help Detroit schools. We'll tell you how they were able to pull off this weight room makeover. Plus, moving to a new era. Construction crews preparing for the second phase of a massive greenway project in Detroit. We'll tell you what's next for it and how soon you could see it open. We'll be right back.